filtered in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, bond that can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I am your host, Carl, and I'm back for another episode. We're going to be recapping week 8, the weekday. So Tuesday through Friday. We had a pretty good weekday schedule. We had some slow games, some blowouts. We had a good one. Especially Tuesday night. But yeah, we're going to talk about all that. Before I do, I'd like to ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps the channel, it helps the network. It helps my channel, CTC, the Refuse to Lose Network. I'm going to go over the shows real quick. So we got the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. We got BWT, Baseball with Teddy. Shout out Teddy. The Yankees are in the World Series as they take on the Dodgers and my boy Shohei Ohtani. So that should be a good one. We got FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. Last 2 games of this week in fantasy are tonight. My Ravens take on the Bucks, and then we got the Chargers and the Cardinals. We got Dave's Doghouse, highlight, lowlights of sports. Kings Talk with Joe Jordan. He did an episode about the Kings. NBA season starts tomorrow. But the Kings season, I think, starts, he said, Thursday. Wednesday or Thursday. I think he said Thursday, though. We got In the Red Corner featuring Tomo, Ricky, and Ty. All your boxing content through there. Real Ballers Only featuring Vaughn RBO. NBA content there. And we got Unfazed with AJ and JJ, AJ and Joe. 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. Right now, they've just been doing a lot of the NFL, strictly NFL. We got to pick them every week, things like that. So that's all. That's the shows that the network have to offer. If you like what you're listening to, like, comment, share, subscribe, and stay with us. So I'm going to run through these kind of quickly. I do have work today, but we'll start with Tuesday night. Oh, by the way, major performances and poll talk will be on the weekend recap. So later tonight, probably a little bit after the Ravens game. But yeah, that'll be on the weekend. But first game up, we got Troy at South Alabama. Troy loses 9-25 on the road in South Alabama. The game, it looked like it was going to be defensive at first. It looked like it was going to be close. And then South Alabama hit a big play to Jamal Pritchard, and that changed everything. Kind of provided South Alabama with the spark it needed to win the game. But we're going to start. South Alabama starts with a punt, 3-and-out punt. Troy starts with a 3-and-out punt. Troy then has a turnover on downs, 4-2. The pass is incomplete, which will lead to a 36-yard field goal. And then for 11:07 left in the second quarter, Troy Tucker Kilcrease will throw in an interception, which will lead to a 24-yard Jeremiah Webb touchdown catch. Then Troy would get a safety that will fumble out the end zone, which will lead to a 49-yard Gio Lopez touchdown run. Then Troy will score a 36-yard field goal. And then Troy starts the second half with a punt, while South Alabama starts the second half with a 42-yard field goal. Troy, turnover on downs, 4th and 8, pass is incomplete, which will lead to a 3-and-out punt. Troy's Matthew Caldwell would then throw an interception, which will lead to a 42-yard field goal. Then Troy's Matthew Caldwell would throw another interception, which will lead to a punt. And then with 2:35 left in the fourth quarter, Troy scores a 13-yard Devontae Ross touchdown catch. Brady Dawn had an 18-yard catch on that drive, and then they would fail the onside kick, which will lead to the end of the game. Like I said, once they got that big play to Pritchard, which led to their first field goal, it seemed like they opened up so much stuff for the Jaguars. Also, once they got the first interception, they scored off that. Everything, the home crowd got into it. Everything just turned up, and they were able to get the W against Troy. Next, we go to a game that was just low scoring. I feel like it was defensive yet sloppy. We had Kennesaw State lose to Middle Tennessee State on the road. Kennesaw State 5, which is a crazy score, to Middle Tennessee State's 14. Like I said, the game was just sloppy and defensive at the same time. Offenses really couldn't get nothing going. Middle Tennessee State was able to get stuff going, but they weren't able to sustain drives. Kennesaw State would get stops around like the 40 to 50, stuff like that. To me, Vadiato just didn't look the same to me. Kennesaw defense actually did a really good job on them on Middle Tennessee and the receivers. Holden Willis was looking pretty good, but he was able to get big plays, but they were doing a good job not allowing it to be consistently good big plays. Omari Kelly, same thing. He got big plays here and there, but it wasn't consistent. It was just Kennesaw State just could not score on offense. They could not score touchdowns. They could not sustain drives, score touchdowns. Even their first drive, they get all the way down and don't punch it in, which led to the safety. But, yeah, it was just Kennesaw State needs a lot of work on offense. They need a lot of work on offense. They need a quarterback, too. That's just what it comes down to for them. But let's get into the game. So Middle Tennessee State will start with a punt. Kennesaw State will start with a turnover on downs, 4th and goal. Preston Daniels 1-yard run. He was short. Leads to a safety. That's leading to the safety. Then that safety will lead to a 3-and-out punt for Kennesaw State. Then Middle Tennessee State will then drive down and score a 1-yard Jaquil Middlebrook touchdown run, set up by Omari Kelly 22-yard catch. With 12-12 left in the second quarter, Kennesaw State's Caleb Johnson will throw an interception, which will lead to a 3-and-out punt. With 4:05 left in the second quarter, Middle Tennessee State turnover on downs, 4th and 6, pass is incomplete, but that would lead to another Caleb Johnson interception, which will lead to halftime. Kennesaw State will start the second half with a 3-and-out punt, while Middle Tennessee State will start the second half with a turnover on downs, 4th and 2, Jaquil Middlebrook, no gain, which will lead to a 3-and-out punt, which will lead to an Omari Kelly 61-yard punt return touchdown. So Middle Tennessee State was only able to sustain one touchdown drive. The other touchdown came off the punt return by Omari Kelly, which was electric. Kennesaw State will score a 38-yard field goal. Then with 8:41 left in the fourth quarter, Middle Tennessee State will miss a 50-yard field goal, which will lead to a 3-and-out punt. And then with 2:59 left in the fourth quarter, Kennesaw State will have a turnover on downs, 4th and 4. Christian Moss will have a 3-yard catch, and that will lead to the end of the game. So, for as bad as Kennesaw State played on offense, Kennesaw State did a really good job on defense. Like I said, man, only gave up one offensive touchdown. The other touchdown was special teams play. So, shout out to that defense, man. The defense is trying to get Kennesaw State their first win. Offense has to step up for them. We move on to the one game that was good Tuesday night. Louisiana Tech loses to New Mexico State on the road, 33-30 in double overtime. So, in my opinion, Louisiana Tech was trying to attack New Mexico State too much east and west. They were trying to throw too many screens and not attack north and south. Not trying to go downhill, not trying to push the ball down the field at first. Then Louisiana Tech started opening up the passing game a little bit more. I mean, it's a credit to New Mexico State defense for not allowing them to do that as well. But they started to open up the passing game, put the ball down the field a little bit more with True Edwards and them guys. And they started to get success. I want to talk about the end of the game. I felt like it was a bad coaching decision. I even said it before it happened. When they got in the field goal range and he settled for the field goal, my philosophy would change if you were down. If you were down and you're like, all right, we just need a field goal to win it, cool. You don't want to put the ball in harm's way, run it, get it down to 3 seconds, kick the field goal. What happens, happens. But it was a tie ball game. You got to go for the touchdown first and settle for the field goal. He didn't try to go for the touchdown and settle. He just went for the field goal off bucks. He was like, all right, cool. We're going for the field goal. Like I said, if you're losing, I'm with that philosophy. But if you're tied, okay, you throw a turnover, so what? You go to overtime. They blocked the kick. You went to overtime. Go for the touchdown. The only thing that could burn you if you throw a pick six, but then you got to let your quarterback know, like, all right, we're not going, no risky throws to the outside, none of that. Protect this football, but we're going to take our shots to the end zone. Ran it, killed the clock to 3 seconds. Field goal is blocked. And went to double overtime and lost. So I just felt like I said, I'm not saying that because the end result, I said it while it was happening. I said, this is a bad idea. Just conceding the field goal. You got to go for broke. And if you don't get it, at least you got the field goal in your back pocket. It burned them. So let's get into it, though. New Mexico State starts with a 3-and-out punt. Louisiana Tech starts with a 3-and-out punt. New Mexico State will then muff the punt, which will lead to a turnover on downs. Louisiana Tech 4th and 4. Evan Bullock is sacked, which will lead to a turnover on downs 4th and 3. Cordell David 1-yard catch, which will lead to a 3-and-out punt. So a lot of bad football there. With 11:44 left in the second quarter, New Mexico State will score 53-yard TJ Pryor touchdown catch, deep post over the middle. They actually went back to that, and I think it worked again. But Louisiana Tech would then score a 7-yard Chu Edwards touchdown catch set up by Jimmy Holiday 20-yard catch. Louisiana Tech will score a 1-yard Amiri Wiggins touchdown run set up by Eli Finley 28-yard catch. New Mexico State will score a 48-yard field goal before the half. Then Louisiana Tech will start the second half with a punt. New Mexico State will start the second half with a 7-yard Brandon Nunez touchdown run set up by P.J. Johnson 45-yard catch. Louisiana Tech 3-and-out. Punt the ball. New Mexico State muffs another punt, which would just lead to a 3-and-out punt. Louisiana Tech will score a 40-yard field goal. Then they will come back and score a 15-yard Chu Edwards touchdown catch set up by Jay Wilkerson 32-yard catch. New Mexico State will score a 4-yard Brandon Nunez touchdown run set up by Hunter Talley 19-yard catch. And then Louisiana Tech will have a 27-yard field goal blocked to end the regulation. And in overtime, both teams scoring a field goal. New Mexico State will score a 37-yarder. Louisiana Tech will score a 37-yarder. Then in double overtime, Louisiana Tech scores a 36-yarder, while New Mexico State scores a 4-yard Mike Washington touchdown run to end the game. So like I said, man, I just felt like the end of the game was mismanaged by Louisiana Tech. But we're going to move on to our Wednesdays. Our Wednesday night recap. We got two, I believe. Yeah, we got Western Kentucky at Sam Houston State first. Western Kentucky goes in and wins 31-14. Now, what I will say is this. The game was really good first half, but I think Western Kentucky caught a break when Sam Houston State started quarterback went down. And Jace Bowers had to come in and fill his place. I'm blanking on Bruh's last name. I know his first name is Hunter. I can't remember his last name right now, but when he came in to replace him, he did a pretty decent job. They tried to do a pretty decent job, but Western Kentucky's offense started to light up. Late in the game, Sam Houston State's offense could not respond. I know Jace Bauer, I think he threw like a late game pick, but both teams looked like they were poised to make this a shootout. But like I said, Sam Houston State's quarterback got hurt. Now, I will say Sam Houston State scored both touchdowns on poor tackling. It was really poor tackling Western Kentucky was doing, so that did help Sam Houston State as well. But I think they did catch a break as well too. So let's get into it. Western Kentucky will start with a 17-yard River Helms touchdown catch set up by Elijah Young 22-yard catch. Sam Houston State will start with a punt. With 14:50 left in the second quarter, Sam Houston State scores a 37-yard Simeon Evans touchdown catch set up by Hunter Watson 15-yard run. Western Kentucky scores a 51-yard field goal. Then Sam Houston State will score a 50-yard Michael Phoenix touchdown catch set up by Elijah Song 22-yard catch. Western Kentucky will score 11-yard Elijah Young touchdown catch set up by Elijah Young 28-yard catch. Sam Houston State starts the second half with a 47-yard field goal miss, which will lead to a punt. With 13:05 left in the fourth quarter, Sam Houston State 32-yard field goal will be blocked, which will lead to a Katie Hutchinson 74-yard touchdown catch. Then Jason Bauer would fumble, which will lead to a 19-yard Caden Vilcan touchdown run. And then Sam Houston State will have a turnover on downs, 4 for 7 passes incomplete, which will lead to a 3-and-out punt. And then Jace Bauer would throw an interception, which will lead to an Elijah Young fumble, which will lead to the end of the game, which the final score being 31-14, like I said. So Western Kentucky was able to hit some big plays late to win the game. But, yeah, like I said, Sam Houston State scored 2 touchdowns on missed tackles. Starting quarterback went out, and Western Kentucky just took over. We'll move on to, speaking of quarterbacks getting hurt, FIU at UTEP. FIU lost their starting quarterback in this game after a terrible red zone interception. They lost Keon Jenkins. He threw a bad interception. Went to go make a tackle. I think he actually missed the tackle, and he hurt his shoulder, and he was out for the game. In comes the backup, who it was a rough start for the backup. We had terrible quarterback center exchanges, really mainly on the center. He was snapping the ball bad, killed a lot of plays, didn't really give FIU a chance really in the first half. The exchange got better as the game went on, but those killed some key drives or some helpful drives. Through threw bad interceptions. I think because we ended up going to 3 quarterbacks. I want to say all 3 of them threw an interception. Yeah, all 3 quarterbacks that entered the game, all 3 of them threw an interception. UTEP's passing defense did really well. Eric Rivers, he tried to give his team a boost. The run game tried, but these quarterbacks that came in kept throwing interceptions. The backup actually ended up getting benched for the third string. Third string comes in and throws 2 interceptions. But UTEP gets his first win in, I believe the stat was 357 days. So shout out to you, the Miners at UTEP. They finally get a win. Well deserved. They celebrated like crazy. I mean, rightfully so. But let's get into the game. So UTEP starts with a 3-and-out punt, which was blocked, leading to a 16-yard Dean Patterson touchdown catch. UTEP starts with then scored a 27-yard field goal. Then with 4:02 left in the first quarter, Isaiah Jolly would fumble, which would lead to the Keon Jenkins interception that got him hurt, which would lead to the 3-yard Skylar Locklear touchdown run. With 6:17 left in the second quarter, FIU scores a 33-yard Eric Rivers touchdown catch set up by Nazea Bird's 15-yard run. And then with 25 seconds left in the second quarter, UTEP scores a 22-yard Javon Jackson touchdown catch. FIU would then start the second half with a turnover on downs. Lexington Joseph, no gain, which would lead to a 44-yard field goal. Then with 56 seconds left in the third quarter, Amari Jones would throw an interception, which would lead to a Skylar Locklear interception, which would lead to an 8-yard Keon Owens touchdown run. Then UTEP would score a 1-yard Javon Jackson touchdown run, set up by Kenny Odom's 28-yard catch. And with 4:56 left in the fourth quarter, FIU's Hayden Carlson would throw an interception, which would lead to a 39-yard field goal. And then FIU's Hayden Carlson would throw another interception, which would lead to the end of the game. I did also want to say this. FIU's defense, it looked gassed towards the end of the game. They were getting stops, but those last, I think it was 2. No, right when FIU scored, UTEP marched the ball right down the field and scored right after. I was watching the game, and I thought, man, FIU took this score late. UTEP's going to find a way to lose this. Nope, went right down the field and scored. By the way, I didn't go over the teams that I picked. So on the Tuesday games, I did pick South Alabama, who won. I did pick Middle Tennessee State, who won, but I did pick Louisiana Tech, who lost in double overtime. For the Wednesday games, I picked Western Kentucky, who won, and I picked FIU, who lost. Now we got Thursday. Thursday was really one good game. Boston College, Virginia Tech was really a blowout for real. Boston College fought their way back, but that was because of mistakes by Virginia Tech. Both teams made big mistakes. Boston College just came to make more mistakes. But this Marshall and Georgia State game was pretty good. Marshall jumped out to an 18-point lead. Georgia State, looked like it was about to do what Georgia Southern did the previous week against Marshall and come back and win the game. But Marshall was able to fend off the comeback to win 35-20. But at one point, this game got really close. I want to say it was like 18-15, or I think even Georgia State might have took the lead. But then Marshall goes down and scores and puts the game out of reach. But Marshall almost did it again. They almost blew another big lead. Got the W at home. Shout out to the Thunder and Herd. Let's talk about it a little bit. So Marshall, will start with an A.J. Turner 2-yard touchdown run set up by a Toby Payne 15-yard catch. The 2-point is good. Then Georgia State will start with a punt. Marshall will score a 47-yard field goal. Marshall would then score a 23-yard A.J. Turner touchdown run set up by a Toby Payne 22-yard catch. Georgia State will score a 36-yard field goal. Then Georgia State will score a 13-yard Michael Dukes touchdown catch set up by Jacalus Credle 13-yard catch. Marshall will score a 30-yard A.J. Turner touchdown catch set up by Braylon Braxton 12-yard run. Then Georgia State will start the second half with a turnover on downs, 4-for-1. Freddie Brock, no gain, leading to a 3-and-out punt. Then Georgia State will score a 3-yard Michael Dukes touchdown catch set up by C.J. Beasley 17-yard run. Marshall's Braylon Braxton will throw an interception, leading to a 20-yard field goal. Then with 9:36 left in the fourth quarter, Marshall scores a 49-yard field goal. Then Georgia State turnover on downs, 4-for-10, passes incomplete, leading to an 88-yard A.J. Turner touchdown run. Then Georgia State turnover on downs, 4-for-9, passes incomplete, leading to the end of the game. A.J. Turner was huge in this game. I think he had a triple crown of 3 touchdowns, maybe 4, but he was real big in this game. Also, a keynote in this game, Georgia State would then bench Christian Velo and bring in the backup quarterback, who he looked good. He had some moxie. He looked really good. He was just not able to complete the comeback, but he looked really good in the game, in my opinion. I think they might end up moving forward with him next week if they're not on a bye week. I didn't look at Georgia State's schedule, but he looked really good against Marshall. I will say that. But we're gonna move forward to Boston College at Virginia Tech. Boston College will start this game turning the ball over, and Virginia Tech will capitalize. Then the second half, Virginia Tech will turn the ball over, and Boston College will capitalize. And then Boston College found back ways to turn the ball over, and Virginia Tech would go on to win it in blowout fashion, really. The score at one point is 28-0 before Boston College scored 3 straight touchdowns, and then Virginia Tech put it right back up to 21. I really don't want to really talk about this game too much because of how bad it was. Boston College really didn't stand a chance. I mean, they fought back late and then had a chance to tie it, but got in their own way yet again and lost the game. So let's get into it, and then we'll move on to Friday. By the way, I picked Virginia Tech to win. I picked Marshall to win Thursday night. But let's get into it. Boston College starts with the punt. Virginia Tech starts with an 11-yard Kyron Jones touchdown run set up by Stephen Gosnell, 20-yard catch. Boston College Thomas Castellanos would fumble, leading to a Kyron Jones 1-yard touchdown run. Then Boston College's Thomas Castellanos would fumble yet again, leading to an 83-yard by Shua Tootin touchdown run. Virginia Tech's Kyron Jones would fumble, leading to a punt. And then with 11 seconds left in the second quarter, Virginia Tech scores a 20-yard by Shua Tootin touchdown catch, set up by Shua Tootin 16-yard run. Virginia Tech starts the second half with a punt, while Boston College starts the second half with a 25-yard Trayshawn Ward touchdown catch, set up by Turbo Richard 30-yard run. Kyron Jones would throw an interception, leading to an 11-yard Jeremiah Franklin touchdown catch. By Shua Tootin, Virginia Tech by Shua Tootin would fumble, leading to a 5-yard Kyle Robichaux touchdown run. Boston College turnover on downs, 4th and 1, Kyle Robichaux no gain, leading to a 6-yard by Shua Tootin touchdown run. Boston College would then fumble, leading to a 61-yard by Shua Tootin touchdown run. And then Boston College would turn the ball over on downs, 4th and 18, passes incomplete, leading to the end of the game. So like I said, man, just getting in their own way, turning the ball over, fumbles. They really ain't throw a pick. They just found ways to fumble the ball, and Virginia Tech would then go down and score off those. And, man, I know I said I'm going to leave with this one note. I know Thursday I said sometimes it feels like they forget that they got one of the better backs in the country. Just turn around, hand the ball to Shua Tootin. You see what happens when you do. 83-yard touchdown run, 61-yard touchdown run. Like, come on. Hand my man the ball. I just feel like they tried so much to prove that Kyron Jones is the top quarterback in college, which, to be honest, he's not. But give Bashu the ball. They get away from him sometimes. I don't understand it. But we'll move on to Friday. Friday, we had Florida State at Duke. Florida State's unraveling. They were 1-5 coming into the game, now currently 1-6. Duke had a really good defense. Their defense played well again. Offensively, needs some work. But Duke went on to hang on to win the game, 23-16. I did pick Duke to win this game. I will say this. Mike Norvell, he went to the playoffs last year. His seat might be super hot right now. Might be super hot. They are looking super bad. They look like they could not win a game for the rest of the year. I don't think that's going to happen, but it looked like that could very well happen. Florida State offense did not score a touchdown in this game. They got a touchdown on the second half opening kickoff. That's the only touchdown they scored. They were able to muster up some field goals, but offense could not punch it in the end zone, and I think that's a credit to Duke's defense. But let's get into it. So Duke starts with a 3-and-out punt. Florida State starts with a 23-yard field goal. Then with 4:11 left in the first quarter, Florida State's 48-yard field goal will be blocked, leading to a 3-and-out punt. Florida State's Brock Glenn would throw a pick six to Chandler Rivers. Then Florida State's Brock Glenn would fumble, leading to a 2-yard Star Thomas touchdown run. Florida State's Brock Glenn would throw another interception, which would lead to a 27-yard field goal. Then with 1:46 left in the second quarter, Florida State would score a 53-yard field goal. Then, like I said, Florida State would start the second half with a 95-yard kickoff touchdown ran by Samuel Singleton Jr. Duke would start the second half with a 44-yard field goal. Then for 11:35 left in the fourth quarter, Florida State scored a 38-yard field goal. Duke would then score a 39-yard field goal. Then Florida State's Cam Davis would fumble into a 3-and-out punt, and then turnover on downs 4th and 24. Then get it, and that would lead to the end of the game. Like I said, man, shout out to Duke's defense, held Florida State's offense out of the end zone. Florida State, man, reeling. They're worse than I thought. I didn't think Florida State would be that good. I had them at 6-6, if you remember from my preview, but they're worse than that. They are worse than that, which is very surprising. But we'll move on to Oregon at Purdue. I just took a couple notes. This was a shutout. Obviously, Dylan Gabriel looked really good. I told y'all they're called the spoiler makers. Normally off a big win, you play them on the road, they normally upset you, but it won't be none of that this Friday night, and it wasn't. as the second-rate Ducks win 35-0. I took 5 notes. The first one, Oregon started with 3 straight touchdowns, which to me was already ball game. They started the game scoring 3 straight times. Then after those 3 straight touchdowns, they punted and threw a pick before the halftime. Then Purdue, they started with 3 punts, a missed field goal, and a fumble. So just not being able to get nothing done. You already can't turn the ball over when you're going against Oregon as an inferior team. To fumble and miss a field goal are just drastic. And Purdue, second half, they had 2 straight turnover on downs, a punt, another turnover on down, and an interception. Oregon would then miss a field goal, but then Oregon missed the field goal to start the second half, but then scored 2 straight touchdowns the game was already a reach out, 21-0, but just to push the score up as they won 35-0. And, I know it's not poll talk, but shout out to the Ducks, man. They're currently number 1 in the country, so shout out to them. Next, we got a game that I didn't think was really going to be a game, but it ended up being a barn burner. I did pick BYU to win this game, and they won it late on a Darius Lassiter touchdown catch. 38-35. I didn't think Ollie Gordon would have that much of a game because I thought BYU would be stout in the trenches, and they know that this offense was Ollie Gordon a bust. But under Garrett Rangel, this offense definitely looked a lot different. Garrett Rangel did get hurt and didn't come back, so Allen Bowman stepped right back in, and I feel like the offense looked less explosive with Allen Bowman, and Allen Bowman did throw an interception. So what else is new? But Ollie Gordon did his best to try to put the Oklahoma State Cowboys on his back and win the game. BYU just, unfortunately for him, late game, found a way to win it. Also, I would like to say that Ollie Gordon loves playing BYU. The first game, he went crazy. I thought they would be able to contain it the second game, but they were not. Just read his comment and I'll go into it. Shout out my boy, Joe. He just put the 5 emojis. Appreciate you, my boy. We're going to talk about the polls and everything when I do my weekend recap. So you didn't miss that. Major performances weekend recap. So you didn't miss any of that. But let's get back to these last 2 recaps I got for y'all for the weekday. BYU will start with a 4-yard Jake Retzlaff touchdown run set up by Darius Lassiter, a 50-yard catch. Oklahoma State will start with a 50-yard Ollie Gordon touchdown run set up by Garrett Rangel, 16-yard run. That hurdle by Ollie Gordon was amazing, by the way. And it wouldn't be his only hurdle of the game. Ollie Gordon had some highlight plays in this game. With 1 second left in the first quarter, BYU, Hinckley Rapati would throw his first, it was a running back pass, but he would throw an interception, which would be one of 3 BYU interceptions in the first half. But that would lead to a Garrett Rangel interception, which would lead to a 1-yard LJ Martin touchdown run. Oklahoma State would then score a 17-yard Ollie Gordon touchdown catch. No, that was the hurdle. The touchdown catch was the hurdle. The 50-yard run was on the right sideline. It wasn't a hurdle. The 17-yard catch was on the left sideline. That's the only hurdle. Set up by Tyler and Stretcher on a 15-yard catch. BYU's Jack Retzlaff would then throw an interception, which will lead to a 2-yard Ollie Gordon touchdown run. Then BYU's Jack Retzlaff would throw his the third interception before halftime, but it didn't lead to anything. It was like literally a Hail Mary picked off, and they made the tackle. Oklahoma State would start the second half with a 48-yard field goal miss, which would lead to an 8-yard LJ Martin touchdown run. Then Oklahoma State's Allen Bowman would throw an interception leading to a 34-yard Keelan Marion touchdown catch. Oklahoma State scores a 16-yard Brendan Presley touchdown catch set up by Rodney Fields' 22-yard run. So Ollie Gordon did get hurt in this game. He did come back. Rodney Fields took over in the backfield until he got back. BYU scores a 41-yard field goal. Oklahoma State scores a 6-yard Brendan Presley touchdown catch set up by Brendan Presley 31-yard catch. And then BYU will score the walk-off touchdown, 35 yards to Darius Lassiter. Gave the safety a move at the end of that, which was set up by Jake Retzlaff's 27-yard run, and that'd be a ball game. Like I said, BYU, they had a tough day with Ollie Gordon, but they were able to finish and get the W, move on to 7-0. And don't look now, but BYU and Iowa State, again, are looking to be on a crash collision for that Big 12 championship, which would be a game that I would love to watch. I got some comments. Hodge A, thank you, Carl. I watched your weekday preview and went 2 bets because of it. Man, appreciate it, bro. I really do appreciate it. I hope you continue to tune in. This isn't a gambling show. This is more so a prediction. I do gamble as well, so I did want some money, but I appreciate you tuning in. I'll try to help pick games, and if you can use it to win some money, man, I definitely appreciate you for watching, man. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Keep listening. Don't be afraid to type in the comments if you got questions. I'll answer them, stuff like that. And then my boy Joe, appreciate you helping me out. He says at Hodge A, Carl wins a lot of money, people money. Keep tuning in, man. I try. I really do try. But we're gonna get to this last recap before I head off to work. But it was Fresno State at Nevada, and I called my shot. Yeah, I know I love my Wolfpack. I called my shot. Thought they would win money line, and man, defense couldn't get stops in the first half. Showed up in the second half. Then the offense couldn't score in the second half. Shut out in the second half against Fresno State. But it was a really good game, really good back and forth. Fresno State, man, they was able to get the run game going. Nevada was able to get the run game going. Had a deep ball to my boy Jada Smith, the big guy. Shout out Nate Burleson Jr. Nate Burleson, the Lions receiver's son. He had a big touchdown in the first half with his father and his mother in attendance. His first touchdown of his collegiate career. It was electric. It was fun to watch, but unfortunately, Fresno State got the W in this one, 24-21. We'll talk about this game real quick, and then I'll end the show. Nevada starts with a 3-yard Savion Red. By the way, I got to correct this. I think I called Savion Red Silas Red, and I felt so bad after the show. But yeah, Savion Red. Savion Red, 3-yard touchdown run set up by Jada Smith, 55-yard catch. Fresno State would then score a 44-yard field goal. Then Fresno State would score a 10-yard Elijah Gilliam touchdown run set up by Raylan Sharp, 27-yard catch. Nevada would score a 46-yard Nate Burleson Jr. touchdown catch. Nevada, turnover on downs, 4th and 9. Guy Gillespie, loss of 12, leading to a 4-yard Elijah Gilliam touchdown run. Nevada would then score a 2-yard Brandon Lewis touchdown run set up by Marcus Ballon, a 15-yard catch, which would have them up 21-17 at half. I was feeling really good. But then Fresno State would start the second half with a punt. Nevada would start the second half with a punt. Fresno State would score a 7-yard Joshua Woods touchdown run set up by Elijah Gilliam, 71-yard catch. And then Fresno State's Mikey King, he did throw an interception. He found a way to throw another interception, leading to a 4th and 25, which was turnover on downs. And then that would lead to a 4th and goal, turnover on downs for Fresno State, passes incomplete, which would lead to a punt. And then the game would end on punts and a failed Hail Mary at the end of the game. Both defense bowled up. We're getting stops. Fresno State will win 24-21. Now, I do want to say one thing real quick before I go, and I'll read the comment after. But I was watching the game, and the commentator said, Mikey King, he like one of the best quarterbacks in the Mountain West. If it wasn't for these interceptions, I'm like, bro, he's throwing the interceptions. Like, I like Mikey King as much as the next guy, but you got to hold him accountable for these interceptions that he is throwing. Like, I like Mikey King. I liked him at UCF. Liked him when he transferred. But he has to stop throwing picks. He has 9 interceptions. I think he has 8 touchdowns and 9 picks. He got to stop throwing them. Like, we got to hold him accountable. We can say he's talented. You're going to say he's a talented quarterback in the Mountain West, but he's got to stop throwing these interceptions. And I'd have been with you. Got to hold guys accountable for throwing interceptions, though. You can't just – because you can say that with anybody. Anybody would be good if they stopped throwing picks. You got to hold them accountable. But that's my little rant. But shout out Fresno State, man. They got the W. My Wolfpack dropped to 3-5. It's not my favorite team. If you've been following CTC, you know. I mean, it's kind of like a trend. Last year, I got on the Jacksonville State train. They went to the bowl game, won a bowl game. It's like I find a team that's like an underdog story for a year, and I'm like, I'm with them now. Like, I'm with y'all. I like an underdog, so I'm rolling with y'all. Nevada's the underdog this year that I'm rolling with, 3-5. But that's all I got for y'all. I got to read the comment first. Oh, Hodge, hey, he says, thanks. Hey, no problem, bro. No problem. Thank you for tuning in. And like I said, man, subscribe. Keep tuning in. But that's all I got for y'all today. I will be back probably after my Ravens game a little bit later with the weekend preview. Weekend recap, excuse me. Then I got a preview Tuesday through Friday for the weekday. We're on week 9. Season's flying by. Should be some good ones this weekday. And then we got Maction week 10. Can't wait. But I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe, and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.